Before they called it vacant. Before they drafted new plans. Before they held focus groups asking what the building should become. AFIBA was already alive. For 20 years, the former Fire Station 54 was more than brick, concrete, and painted walls. Jabari Jumaini helped transform it into an African-American cultural center, a place created through vision, service, and commitment. Inside those doors, children studied advanced algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, reading, and comprehension. Doctors and health educators shared knowledge. Lawyers offered free legal education. Historians taught the African presence throughout the world. Artists painted murals, poets spoke truth, families celebrated culture. Elders poured wisdom into the next generation. This was not an empty building waiting to be saved. It was a home.
It was a home.
A home where our community could speak from its own perspective. A home built organically, not inside a government office, not through a marketing campaign, but through years of trust, sacrifice, education, culture, and love. And then came the question, what should this building be used for? But how do you ask that question without first walking through the doors? Without attending the classes? Without seeing the children learn? Without listening to the elders? Without witnessing 20 years of community service? You may replace a program. You may rename a building. You may change the locks and announce a new vision, but you cannot recreate 20 years of relationships with a press release. You cannot manufacture something organic, and you cannot erase the people who built it.
AFIBA was here.
Yeah.
AFIBA served.
AFIBA served.
AFIBA taught.
AFIBA taught.
AFIBA gave the community a home.
This is more than a story of a building. It is the story of who gets remembered, who gets replaced, and who has the courage to stand up and say, we were here, we built this, and our history will not disappear. This is Politricks in LA.
The AFIBA Center, Old Fire Station 54. Brother Jabari Jumaini, firefighter for over 30 years, submitted a proposal that turned into the opening of the AFIBA Center. The AFIBA Center stands for the African Firefighters and Benevolent Association. He had hosted a variety of services that were great for the community. 4th through 8th graders learned algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, and reading and comprehension. Medical and holistic doctors shared health information for the community. CEMOTAP guarded the image of Black people. The Joko Collective critically evaluated movies that affected Black people. The lawyers gave free legal education for our community. And this is one of the beautiful murals that was painted at the AFIBA Center. In approximately 2018, 8th District Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson began hosting multicultural focus groups to come up with ideas on what to use the AFIBA Center for. Why was there a need for a focus group to see what the AFIBA Center should be used for? There was already great things going on there. The oldest holistic doctor and iridologist in Los Angeles, Dr. Paul Goss, blessed the AFIBA Center with educational lectures. One of his students, Dr. Rab, along with Thabiti Umoja, blessed the center with free health classes once a month. And also, chef, author, and organic gardener Kiti Awadu also blessed the center whenever he was in town. And Dr. Rosie Milligan, world-renowned author, activist, and founder of the Black Writers on Tour, had blessed the center many times with her educational workshops. Also, chiropractor and health researcher Dr. Carrie Pratt has conducted numerous workshops on chiropractic health as well as women's health. And registered dietitian Brandy Nicholson conducted many workshops on proper nutrition and herbal health. And our late elder, Renuka Rashidi, gave numerous AFIBA Center history lessons on the African origins throughout the world. And Professor Griff had conducted workshops on mind control in the music industry. And Dr. Umar spoke to young parents about getting their children to avoid the school to prison pipeline. And engineer Kwabena Ruzuli educated the community of the toxic music that is being pushed in the Black community. And also, Dr. Romeo Brooks, the founder of Roots Nutrition, gave us jump rope competitions every month and also gave us health lectures on body intelligence. Also, Impu taught us yoga and Tai Chi. And also we had Patrick Pratt, aka Straw, who gave us some conscious comedy to make us think. Purusha Hickson came to the AFIBA Center many times and brought his positive spirit, leading the whole center in group yoga. Adrian Bosley brought us health education as well as poetry and spoken words. And April Sims blessed us with her presence and education in areas of marketing, business management, and juicing, which she does a lot of these days, being the owner of April's Life in a Bottle. And as you can see from the numerous flyers, there were many things going on for the last 20 years at the AFIBA Center. It was a place that we called home where we can speak from our own perspective, and it was organic. And the AFIBA Center had an excellent math and reading camp, teaching 4th through 8th graders advanced algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. And without Marquise Dawson ever stepping a foot into the AFIBA Center to see the various programs that were going on, without attending one function, without stepping his foot into the center, he serves the AFIBA Center with an eviction. Right after the eviction, community members stormed City Council voicing their opinion only to be ignored by City Council members texting, getting coffee, or simply ignoring them. And to add insult to injury, the TV monitor showed the council members as giants and the community members as ants. And Marquise Dawson didn't even show up. Where was he? Where was he? He was at the Black Caucus in D.C. doing a workshop on fighting off gentrification. At the same time, evicting a Black culture center that's been in Los Angeles for 20 years. Some would say that's like a bank robber teaching you how to invest your money. And Councilman Marquise Dawson, instead of going to Brother Jabari and saying, all of these good things that you're doing, how can I help? But instead, he decides to replace it without knowing what's going on. Can Black folks have anything of our own? And speaking of having something of our own, Black folks had the money to purchase in the heart of LA the Crenshaw Mall on Crenshaw and Martin Luther King Boulevard. However, Councilman Marquise Dawson authorized the sale of the Crenshaw Mall to an investor, a white developer in Beverly Hills. And if Black lives really matter, why are train platforms put above ground in white neighborhoods but are put on ground level in Black neighborhoods, creating more traffic and safety hazards? And is slick talking Alderman Davis from Good Times still around today? Just a different name, but the same game.
Before they called it vacant. Before they drafted new plans. Before they held focus groups asking what the building should become. AFIBA was already alive. For 20 years, the former Fire Station 54 was more than brick, concrete, and painted walls. Jabari Jumaini helped transform it into an African-American cultural center, a place created through vision, service, and commitment. Inside those doors, children studied advanced algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, reading, and comprehension. Doctors and health educators shared knowledge. Lawyers offered free legal education. Historians taught the African presence throughout the world. Artists painted murals, poets spoke truth, families celebrated culture. Elders poured wisdom into the next generation. This was not an empty building waiting to be saved. It was a home.
It was a home.
A home where our community could speak from its own perspective. A home built organically, not inside a government office, not through a marketing campaign, but through years of trust, sacrifice, education, culture, and love. And then came the question, what should this building be used for? But how do you ask that question without first walking through the doors? Without attending the classes? Without seeing the children learn? Without listening to the elders? Without witnessing 20 years of community service? You may replace a program. You may rename a building. You may change the locks and announce a new vision, but you cannot recreate 20 years of relationships with a press release. You cannot manufacture something organic, and you cannot erase the people who built it.
AFIBA was here.
Yeah.
AFIBA served.
AFIBA served.
AFIBA taught.
AFIBA taught.
AFIBA gave the community a home.
This is more than a story of a building. It is the story of who gets remembered, who gets replaced, and who has the courage to stand up and say, we were here, we built this, and our history will not disappear. This is Politricks in LA.
KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. It's high time that we say the quiet part out loud about what we consider a disgrace, an absolute disgrace to the people of South Los Angeles. Destination Crenshaw, or as I call it, Procrastination Crenshaw, was supposed to be a 1.3-mile celebration of Black Los Angeles. Pocket parks, commissioned art, a cultural corridor along Crenshaw Boulevard, stretching from our studios in Leimert Park down to Nipsey Hussle Square. It was set to complete in 2022. That's right, 2022. We are now in 2026, and the Crenshaw community is still waiting. A grand opening was announced for February 2024. That date passed with not a single artwork installed. Then we were promised that construction would be completed by the end of 2024. That date came and went. Our understanding is that as of last fall, the 8th Council District Office was still scrambling to raise additional monies just to restart the project, which has been paused again and again. But here's what makes my blood boil. City officials had the nerve to tell this community the delays are, quote, a necessary inconvenience, close quote. A necessary inconvenience? First of all, who are you talking to? Second, go tell that to the Black business owners who have been coping with construction chaos, breathing dust, enduring years of road closures, and the scarcity of available parking, confronting unsanitary conditions, losing customers and revenue, all while the project they were promised still sits unfinished. They wouldn't let a project sit this long in any other part of this city. And for what it's worth, our elected official, just happens to be the president of the LA City Council. Meanwhile, the city is laser focused on sprucing things up for the World Cup and the Olympics. Please, if this corridor were in Brentwood or Beverly Hills, it would have been completed on time, on budget, and on the cover of every magazine in town. The Crenshaw community deserves better. They deserve the truth, and they deserve what was promised to them. Now, right now, not when it's convenient, not when the cameras are rolling for the Olympics. Now, this isn't incompetence. This is a pattern. And at some point, neglect becomes a decision.
Procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know. Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local black-owned businesses and sadly has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at kbla1580.com.